This episode of The Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Doghouse Systems. Time to level up.
Go, Daddy.
And the national fight against drunk driving. Over the limit, under arrest. Who wants to spend Labor Day in jail?
Hey everybody, real quick, before we get to the show, we recently got a chance to see the movie Catfish, a movie where the main guy meets someone who turns out to be a little different than he thought on Facebook. So Catfish is sponsoring the show in a few weeks, and we thought, wouldn't it be great to create a Catfish experience of one of our own with a surprise visit to one of our fans. So if you live in the LA area and you would like to get a surprise visit from all of us and be featured in an episode of TRS, then you need to do the following. Step 1, if you haven't already, become a fan/member, join the Totally Rad Show Facebook fan page. Step 2, send an email to catfish@totallyradshow.com with a link to your Facebook page and your address and your phone number. Step 3, we will pick one viewer from the entries and make a surprise visit to hang out with you and get to know you on a TRS segment. Now, let's get to the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Totally Rad Show. My name is Alex Albrecht.
Jeff Canada.
And I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
The Totally Rad Show. I'm glad
Cool it down, Dan. You're running hot.
I'm glad the newsy showed
I can't cool this down, all right? We've got a lot to talk about today. I'm excited. It's a big day. It's a big day, guys. It's a big day.
Daniel Trachtenberg here. How was the stock market lately?
Oh.
How was it lately?
How wasn't it?
Well, I don't pay much attention to that.
You know the average income for a man today in 1959 is $5,000. You know that?
That is an interesting fact that you're throwing around.
How much are you guys making? We can share.
I make $50,000. Wait, what?
That's a lot of money.
Well, I'm a wealthy man. I'm into pools.
Hey, why don't you both of you just play it cool? We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Here in 1959. It's a big year.
We got some big pictures to talk about, actually. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Got a game?
Some games.
I'm actually quite excited for the television section. I mean, the television hasn't been around for too long.
We gotta talk about...
Let's get started. Cue the pyrotechnics.
Last call for refreshments, folks. Go right this second to get something good to eat and drink to enjoy now or during the rest of the show. The finest quality ingredients are in the fixins of the delicious foods you'll find waiting to tempt your appetite at the snack bar. Extra special good hamburgers, wonderful donuts, ice-cold thirst-quenching drinks. It's showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
This week in pictures, we're talking about the new one from Alfred Hitchcock, North by Northwest. So,
We're all big fans of the Hitchcock.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been a fan of the Hitchcock for
a few years ago, the TRS favorite movie of the year.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah?
Rear Window. We all love
was.
Rear Window. You guys remember I wasn't such a fan of Vertigo.
I know. Well, you don't like heights.
This is true. This is true.
And I hated birds.
But what?
What?
I'm not...
Oh, you mean
I just made a big level statement.
You just have a fear of the animal, right?
Yeah, I just don't like birds.
All right, let's keep it together, guys. He's afraid of birds. I don't know why.
Well, you know, we were talking about Vertigo. We were talking about Vertigo, and I remember some fears.
What are you afraid of, huh?
And I don't like birds.
Tell me, Jack, what you're afraid of?
You know, I'm afraid of being a normal man in a very abnormal situation.
Well, he touched upon that fear here for you, didn't he? So Alfred Hitchcock reteams with Cary Grant. You guys remember what's my favorite Hitchcock film of all time, Notorious?
Yes.
Oh, right.
He and Cary Grant together there, they're back again.
Back again.
North by Northwest follows
does it mean
an ad.
You know, it's not the last time they were. It's not. That wasn't the last time they were together.
I don't.
Right? Notorious. And then of course,
Are you afraid of
catch
them
a
getting
thief?
together?
Of course, To Catch a
To
Thief.
Catch a Thief, which also did not like.
You didn't like?
No. You like
Really?
To Catch a Thief?
Oh yeah. It's cool.
Anyway, so Cary Grant's an ad man who finds himself embroiled in a mystery.
Is he put into the broiler?
He's embroiled in this extraordinary situation. Just a regular guy who is mistaken to be an international spy. He's
Well.
mistaken. It's not. They don't know it's not him.
Right.
If you're mistaken, that's
And
what's happening.
has a bit of a love affair with the female spy Eva Marie Saint.
Eva Marie
Eva
Saint.
Marie
Woo!
Saint.
And
She's on my list.
She's got some nice gams.
the master of suspense is back to his roots. A little bit of a light affair. He went to the dark side a little bit lighter now. Anyway,
I think he's gonna go dark again.
what do you think of this picture,
I
Jack?
predict. I thought it was the bee's knees.
Yeah.
It was cool. It's a great story first and foremost, and it's well told. I mean, Hitchcock's the master of storytelling, and this is a very plausible idea. You know, even when things happen that are implausible, it seems plausible because we're brought in so well to the story. You know, there's fast ladies, there's fast cars. But at the center of it all is Cary Grant. You know, in To Catch a Thief, he was teamed with what's her name?
Can't remember that picture very well.
You know?
I'm trying to block it out.
Oh God, what's her name? She's the Princess of Monaco now.
Oh, Princess Monaco.
I don't know geography too well.
My goodness. Okay. Anyway, it's nice to see Eva Marie Saint. She's a beautiful lady, and she,
I know you like Brando with that outfit, and on the waterfront she was in.
Yes. And you know,
It's a good callback.
no, I think this movie's fantastic. There's a great set piece at the end of the Mount Rushmore.
The what?
Mount Rushmore, and you know, it's not that old. I haven't had a chance to go there myself, so it's nice to see it on the big screen.
In fact, I believe Ernie Lemon, screenwriter, wrote it around that set piece.
And it's an amazing set piece. I mean, that's kind of a spoiler for the end, but
Well, the
But it's
trailer
a
shows
piece,
it all.
And it's also a set.
it's an incredible movie, and I loved it. I was blown away, and,
Yeah.
and it's a thriller. It's intense. There's great performances.
Yeah. Interesting.
I liked it.
Alex,
Yes, Daniel.
I know you
well, have a fear of birds.
you have a fear of birds.
Well,
What'd you think of North by Northwest?
that's a good segue.
No birds.
Well, Daniel, it's good that you asked that question. I inevitably I liked North by Northwest. I was happy to see Mr. Grant again. He's a great actor. At first I was a little concerned, fearing that maybe, you know, the switched identity thing could get old. You know, it just seemed like, oh, so it could be all cleared
Well,
up by one good phone call.
Alfred
you know
Hitchcock
what I mean?
has definitely done the wrong man.
Can you imagine a
premise
day?
time and time
But
again?
here's the
Could
thing.
you imagine a day when we all could actually have phones with us everywhere we went, and we wouldn't have to rely on just getting to the nearest phone? I predict that's going to happen.
I'm glad I'm
You're a crazy
not
man.
paying
You're a
on
crazy
your
man,
stuff.
Jack. Crazy.
So
Someday.
here's the thing.
Someday.
Then, in the scene right after he was misconstrued as somebody, he clearly states, I am not this person that you misconstrue me for. So, therefore, I was like, okay, well, let's see where this goes. And then it got interesting. The bourbon came out, and everybody had a party. So, that's literally what happened.
That is.
Anyway, so no, I was brought
Liked
along.
it.
I think
Loved it. Didn't love,
I'm
huh?
gonna say leaning towards love.
What about you, little Danny?
Interesting. I'll
Yeah,
tell you what.
what do you think, Danny?
I
Two
love
strikes?
this picture. I really do. It's right now. It's one of my favorites. I think Notorious and North by Northwest. They're almost at the same level. Even Marie Saint, she's no Ingrid Bergman, but that's okay. I will say, as much as I love the suspense sequences, which are great, and there's some just great, fantastic moments. The one with involving a knife. I've seen this movie a couple times now. I stayed at the theater for a long time to
yeah.
see this movie,
Yeah.
and that moment gets me every time. But what they aren't selling this picture on, in all the trailers and the posters I've seen, and the papers, what they're saying, the papers.
I know what you're gonna say.
Is the comedy. It's
Oh,
a
that's
funny,
not what I
funny
thought you were gonna
movie.
say.
I think there's a lot of humor here, and the romance is very good.
There's a great
genuine.
scene. There's a great scene when Cary Grant's on the phone, and you hear his whole conversation with his mom, and he's drunk. Cary Grant does a great drunk.
A great
drunk.
drunk. Not totally realistic, like, perhaps acting may one day become at some point, but good nonetheless.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty
time.
realistic. I thought I believe that he was drunk, and that conversation that he has with his mom about, he's trying to tell her to come pick him up in the police station, and she's talking to him about, like asking him these questions that are. It's funny, and you only hear one side of it.
Yeah.
Reminds me of
One-sided conversation.
conversation.
While I find it a little bit weird after Hitchcock's obsession with moms, I will say it was very charming to have this man and bringing his mom along in this adventure, at least the first part,
Yeah.
Typically we get it with a
agree.
dame of some
Your
sort.
hat popped up,
Oh, did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta fix that. All right.
Well, it's the accent.
Anyway, the
points.
humor is great, and the dialogue is so witty. Yes, the suspense sequences are fantastic, and we can expect that from Mr. Hitchcock.
Yeah.
But the dialogue, the Ernie Lemon dialogue, is just outstanding. And I
there's
really
big-
enjoyed it beyond the suspense sequences.
Yes, I agree.
But there's also big things we've never seen before. A man chased by a plane.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Incredible. The way that was staged was just
Yeah.
phenomenal. Anyway, I want to move on, guys.
Oh, some more?
I don't know what you got. I can't remember back when we talked about the Ten Commandments, but Charlton Heston.
I remember.
Charlton Heston is doing another historical epic coming out this fall, just in time for the Academy Awards, called Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur.
Once
Ben-Hur,
again-
what am I supposed to do with her after that?
I didn't know we we're going blue here. All right.
Hey!
So
Well, you're saying them like Bender.
Hey, if I gotta tell you what to do after you Ben-Hur.
Oh,
then,
Ben-Hur. Oh, I gotcha.
I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you like the historical epic? I mean,
Well, what
do you
history
like
are we
Charlton
talking about?
Heston?
Is this like
Roman
George
times,
Washington and Ben-Hur
Roman
as
times.
assistant?
Apparently, they're writing about some crazy. They have all these extras involved in some big chariot race they're doing. So
Oh,
I guess what I'm looking.
I can't see that being exciting.
I will say-
I can't see a chariot race being exciting.
Those are the horse-drawn chariots.
You know, a chariot is like you're in a little cage behind horses.
right.
Well,
But they're racing. They got like spikes and they like run into each
Spikes?
other.
Why? You didn't mention that.
I just did.
Well,
now that you've just mentioned that,
Listen,
that sounds exciting.
Here's what I'm going to say: Ten Commandments, an epic for sure. But not a lot of action. So I like the idea of some action happening in my epic. And I gotta
So
say, if
is this a
Ben-Hur
religious
delivers on the
picture?
action, he's a Jew who's taken by the Romans.
Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, it's very vague at this point. We don't know too much.
Well, the movie writes itself, really. You're a Jew, taken by Romans, chariot race, end of movie, Ben-Hur.
You could be in the pictures, you know.
Is it going to be a short movie or a long movie?
Very long one, I hear. Very long
Oh,
one.
all right, well.
4 reels.
4 reels. 4 reels.
For real?
4 reels.
4 reels?
4 reels.
4
What do you
reels.
think? Excited for the epic?
Oh, I'm excited to see it.
like
I
Ten
got my
Commandments?
doubts. Yeah, I got my doubts.
Alex?
I love the Ten Commandments. I also like the movie. So I'm very excited to
Clearly,
see.
I don't know if Ben-Hur follows suit in the God's law, but okay.
It's the 12th.
All right. Anyway, I think that's all the time we have in the pictures.
All right.
And let's see what we got. Moving on. Here we go.
So we've had several weeks of talking about stickball and baseball cards over and over, but now we actually got a new game to talk about in the game section,
Finally.
which is really exciting for me. Johnny on the spot, Dan was the one who told us that there's this fantastic board game being played over in France, and a
Finally
couple
brought it to
years they
America.
finally bring it to them. Parker Brothers, the people behind
Devilish Brothers.
Monopoly and Cluedo, which is known as Clue here. They are bringing over the wonderful French board game Risk, which we all had a chance to play. Now, Risk is a world domination game where you have various armies all around a real map of the world.
Isn't it ironic that the French designed a world domination game about armies?
I'm not sure if it is, actually.
I don't think I achieved an irony, but that's okay.
Maybe a coincidence.
So yeah, it's you place your armies on the map of the world, and then you and all the other players attempt to take over different territories on the map by doing a series of dice rolls back and forth. And we play tested the game. I gotta say, it was pretty exciting. Daniel, what did you think?
Well, first of all, it's a game about geography. I know very little of that, but I must say, congratulations. I think we all wish a warm congratulations to Hawaii for becoming a part of the United States.
Absolutely. And if we have any
Aloha,
Hawaiian viewers, we expect to be down there very soon.
Exactly. That's why I bring it up, of
I've
course.
heard your pineapple is amazing.
But now I will say, I
We're
was
going
on
to be at the big Hawaiian game convention.
Oh,
PAX.
pineapples?
And nice try, Rob.
Anyway. So, what I was going to say about Risk is I was on the trolley, leaving downtown. I was at Philippe's.
Oh, yeah.
And this fellow was talking to me about, he was from France, and he had played this Risk game. And it sounded really confusing to me.
It is.
So I was not very interested in playing the game, because it just sounded, I couldn't get my head around
I mean, it sounds confusing.
It felt like there were a lot.
physically
He
confusing.
said it sounded like it takes a long time to play.
Yeah.
You have a lot of all these little pieces, and they
Yep.
all do these different things.
Mhm.
I gotta say, once we really read the rules and started playing, it wasn't that complicated.
Oh.
It's a lot of fun. And it's at first I didn't like it. I commented to you guys and said, I don't know, it's a lot of chance here. I don't know if there's definitely some strategy.
Well, there's a lot of dice rolling. Dice rolling determines who wins in the battle.
Exactly, and I didn't
Your
like
dice
that.
versus my dice.
But there's something just absolutely thrilling. I mean, you guys know, back when I was on the East Coast, they didn't let me, I had those issues in Atlantic City,
I remember.
as you remember.
I had to bail you out of a couple clubs.
So you know about the thrill I get,
Yes.
that sense of surprise
I see.
from the roll of the dice.
You're chasing the rolling
And
dragon.
there's just something about it where you just don't know what's going to turn up.
Don't
and then
know.
And having that be normally, in cards or at the casino, it's you versus the dealer or the house, or yourself in some ways. But to be against a person and
Yeah.
it's your dice versus their dice.
Yeah.
You know,
Iceland versus Ukraine.
There's something very exciting about that. And then the strategy of how to move your.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this game, I must say.
Yeah.
I would risk saying it's a good game. I don't know. I had nothing.
You started
It was
really
good. No, it was
strong.
really good.
I
I
had
felt the
nothing.
strong. It was very strong, and then you
Alex-
kind of petered.
Alexander, did this game rev your jets?
Well, interesting. Yes.
That was a strange sound your pipe made.
Are you even smoking? What is that? Is that
It's an affectation. We both know this.
all right?
Hey, I could be smoking. I don't want to.
All right, so Risk.
Well, Risk is an interesting game. I enjoyed the hell out of this game, I'm going to say. This game is just uber cool, as the kids might say.
Really?
I never
I don't
heard
think
that.
they
That's
say that.
interesting.
I had a German
Maybe they say it in
exchange
France.
student for a while.
Maybe they say it in France with the
Yeah,
where the game
uber
came from.
cool is what they say. Anyway, no, I think Danny nailed every point. I mean, it's a fast-paced yet yet slow game. There's a lot of hot action
They're just saying words now.
combined with slow bursts
right.
of thinking.
You gotta cool it down. You're running hot. Here's the thing. You know, I usually like racing games, and by racing games, I mean my car versus your car.
That's a good game.
Yeah, like chicken or drag.
Love those
Racing games. So I hadn't had a lot of experience,
Yeah, with numbers and
Yeah,
letters and
it's been several years since we reviewed Cluedo, or Clue as it's known here. But I think Parker Brothers knocked it out of the park with this one. This is like a home run.
They Parkered it, right, brother? I don't know. Leave me
It's
alone.
a home
knocked
run.
it out of
This
the
is
park,
a
eh,
fantastically fun game. I'm going to go on record right here, right now, in 1959, and say it's going to stand the test of time. There are going to be people playing this for 5, 10 years.
Wow, you're
5 or
really,
10 years.
You're really
20
making
maybe.
a lot
God.
of predictions. I feel like all three of us could be making predictions, but you were really making those predictions.
Well, I don't-
maybe
As if you have some sort of knowledge.
I'm venturing more risk than I think.
Oh. like
Risk
to
is it's a fantastic game. It's a fantastic game.
Well, I
It
had
is-
a great time playing it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a bunch of friends getting around the table and playing Risk.
It is that. Actually, it's also that at the beginning of the day. Really, any time of the day that you play
Well,
it,
at the
that's what
beginning
it
of the
is.
day, it's probably more mimosas and some scrambled.
Scrambled.
You know,
Scrambled eggs?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I
Eggs.
figured he was gonna say.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think
No,
you
it's
make a good point.
very cool. You know, it's the most fun you can have indoors with your clothes on. I'm saying. I think it's honestly more fun for me than Monopoly, more fun for me than Clue or
Okay.
Cluedo, as it's known overseas. And you know, I think this is a very fantastic game.
I agree.
You know,
I mean, I don't know. If
I'm inclined to agree. You know, I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Monopoly, but
Yeah.
You really? Tell
Well,
me about this.
it's got the money and the exchanging hands and the gamblingness.
you've been playing Monopoly since you were a little kid.
I feel like with Monopoly, here's the thing, with Risk, there's ebbs and flows. And I like that. And with Monopoly, it feels like if you get behind early, there's no coming back.
Well, but if you're covered, if you're all on China,
but all on China, as they say, or you just did. But in Monopoly,
Well, both, actually.
Two, you sit there, and if two people might be going at it, and you know, you might be just be sitting there. But I guess you know what, that can happen in Risk too. I don't know. It's a tough call. I just really like the shoe. You know what I'm saying? I just like that shoe.
Anything you want to add, Captain?
after
Pipe?
that, no, I don't
All right,
know if I
well,
can fulfill that.
that does it for games. Tune in next week. We'll probably be talking more about baseball cards and stickball.
Love those cats.
So here we are back in television. Very excited because we have a new foray into science fiction, which I'm very excited about. So
As am I.
Rod
As am I.
Serling, who is a writer, he's written a couple screenplays. He wrote Requiem for a Heavyweight. I don't know if you guys saw that picture.
Missed that one.
Very, very good. He
you
has
saw
now.
it?
I have seen it. Yes.
What's that picture
Just give us a little
Well,
brief summary.
It's, a
of what
little,
it is.
well, it's one of those pictures that you have to see to experience. Anyway.
I mean, like all pictures.
Well, some pictures can be explained. This picture, Requiem for a Heavyweight, you must see. I don't want to spoil
How about
anything.
just one sentence about just the plot?
The plot would
just the
spoil,
premise.
but the plot would spoil the
How
experience.
about any actor that's in it?
Well, knowing who's in it, previous to seeing the picture, could spoil some of the surprise. If I say the wrong person, they don't show up in the first scene. You could be, you know. I don't know anybody that showed up in the first scene because I wouldn't want to taint the experience that you guys would have.
It's valid. Can't argue with that.
Right, exactly.
All right, moving on.
So moving on, Rod Serling, the writer of Requiem for a Heavyweight, which I will not go into from right now, he has created for us a series of science fiction short stories.
Yeah, it's a new
Is the best
anthology
way to
series.
put it,
It's a new
yes.
anthology series like Alfred Hitchcock Presents or the Disneyland series that's been on. And we've all enjoyed the Hitchcock Presents. I mean, I think that was last year's TV show of the year, right? The Totally Rad show.
58.
I mean, it's been on since '55, obviously, but obviously.
I don't know, it's a close second to the Disneyland television shows.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to change the title at some point. Disneyland sounds odd. I'm sure they're eventually going to call it Walt Disney Presents.
With these predictions, I tell you.
I know,
All right.
So here we are.
That's right. But anyway, we all
But
like
now-
Alfred Hitchcock Presents. and here we
Correct,
go.
correct. Which is more of a horror thriller anthology. Here we've got a science fiction anthology.
Yeah.
So we've just experienced the first pilot. The first pilot being the last pilot because there's only one pilot. Who, I don't mean to spoil anything, but maybe is a pilot?
About a pilot.
In fact, I was actually reading this isn't the pilot. The pilot.
Well, the pilot is an unaired.
The pilot was unaired.
show
Because
that
I was
they
reading
show
about it.
people.
You know, I know my guys. I was on the trolley from
Yeah.
Philippe.
Oh, I hear you.
I know my people. They were going up to RKO.
What a conversation you had.
And
with those guys.
and I heard about the pilot. Sounds very. I'll tell you guys off air. It sounded pretty cool. This
I like it.
This
So this
show-
is episode 1.
This is episode 1. That's right.
Episode 1.
Where is
unaired
everybody?
Pilot. Where is everybody? The story starts as a young man wakes up stumbling through a street and realizes he is the only person left in a city.
It gets kind of creepy.
It gets very creepy very quick.
I got
Jeffrey,
the hoobly
Hoobie
wooglies.
Wooglies, the Hoobie Wooglies. Jeffrey, including the Hoogly Wooglies, what did you think of the Twilight Zone first episode?
Now, it's difficult for me to talk about this without revealing, like, I don't want to have any revealies. Like, if you're worried about revealies, maybe we should put up the revealy cam so that people know we might have revealies.
Okay.
Because I don't want to reveal anything. But revealies, I have been personally very obsessed with the idea of space travel and getting to the moon. I don't know if we'll ever do it, actually putting a man on the moon. But this science fiction story talks about some of that. I would love to.
Revealy.
Revealy.
Ravioli.
I found this absolutely way out there.
Way?
It was so out there that it really got me excited about the potential for the future, and I'm excited that this series may actually stimulate my mind as well as my eyeballs. I mean,
it stimulates your eyeballs.
It's good writing.
Very good.
It's good. We've been loving it. Alfred Hitchcock Presents for several years now, but I think this series might actually rival that in terms of quality anthology storytelling.
This is good.
I'll tell you what.
Danny Two Strikes.
I'll tell you what. All right. What I love about this show is not much unlike Alfred Hitchcock Presents or the trailers that we've been seeing these days, is that it opens on Rod Serling coming out and walking around and giving us a tour of what we're about to see. Now, when I was growing up, it wasn't like that. Where they would come out and like talk about the maker of the thing would come out and tell us about the thing he's made. You know?
What?
We just saw a trailer, a footage from the thing cut together, you know? And I feel like that's uniquely of our time.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but what I got to see, maybe we all didn't get to see the same reel, but the reel that I saw
Were you watching on
was a presentation to potential sponsors. So I don't know if he's going to do that every episode, because he just was talking to the sponsors, right? Is that what you watched?
I didn't think it was for the sponsors. I thought he was just telling, this is episode 1, and there's going to be many episodes. And
no, he was talking about this is going to be a show that's going to sell your products.
I don't know if we were watching the same reel.
Maybe I saw a different reel than you saw.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, but anyway, I just feel like that's uniquely of our time. I don't know if it's going to last.
Yeah.
I love it right now because it just makes me feel like I want to be in this business of show. You know, these creators, the way they talk about the films they're making and the shows they're making, it just makes it feel so
enticing.
special.
It is.
And the way he talks about it, and unfortunately, there were a lot of revealies. I mean, he was revealing a lot of V's, you know, about future things, about future episodes. But those episodes sounded amazing, and they just sound like the big screen on my little screen, you know? Now, Alfred Hitchcock Presents does it too, but this just seems even more cinematic, and I'm a little bit over the sitcom-y thing, the shtick, you know, and
you were big into Daniel Boone, right? After I was on the Disneyland show, you got really into Daniel Boone. I remember you.
I don't remember that, Jack, but okay, if you say so. Anyway,
I'm with Jeff. I remember the Boone knives came out.
Oh yeah.
I just love the cinematic experience on my little screen.
Davy Crockett, I love Davy Crockett singing the song.
I love the surprise and the twist endings, and each week they're as special as they were this first week. I think we're all in for a treat.
Interesting. Well, I totally agree with both of you. I am excited. I'm interested in science fiction. I'm excited that we are finally going to get things not just for our eyeballs. Thank you, Jeffrey. And so I'm excited to see where we go from here. Now, are we going to see musical versions of this? Some sort of, ragtime show that some ragtime guy comes up and says, hey,
ragtime, what
isn't ragtime great? And then there's some ragtime.
I don't understand what
you're saying.
Or
is there some sort of cooking thing where somebody says, hey, isn't cooking great? I cook. What?
Listen.
And then you see some sort of cooking
I want to say one more thing about.
I just realized you're drunk.
Well, yes, mostly.
I want to say one more thing about Mr. Serling.
Yes.
Because Ernie Lemon, I just said a lot
Yes.
of good things about this guy, about North by Northwest.
Yes.
He doesn't come out in front of the camera and say how special his picture is, and he can't describe it to me in this great, wonderful
could,
way.
but
and
he doesn't.
But Alfred Hitchcock goes out there and he sells his picture, right? Rod Serling, he comes out there like he's a spokesperson. You know, he has such charisma. I just want to be that guy, and
he seems like a scientist.
I know
Doesn't
the
he seem like
dames,
a scientist?
the dames, they want to be with him. You know what I'm saying? But he also wrote this thing. He's a creative man, but he also speaks so well, and he can present this quality material. I just feel like that's such a special characteristic. That not every writer can be on camera and be a presenter. Not every presenter has the powers up here to be a writer.
Also, he's a creepy man.
It just occurred to me, Daniel, that you're talking like it was 20 years ago. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please. I was going to say also he's a little creepy.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is very creepy.
Very creepy.
It scared me, quite honestly.
Really, you don't look like a guy who would be scared too much.
I don't like birds. So before we get to our first message, we do want to thank our sponsors. Such lovely sponsors as Ovaltine. Now kids, be sure to drink your Ovaltine. The smooth chocolate. All right, everybody, we had to break in here.
Crazy
Stuff from
that
the
we
vault.
discovered that.
It's
in the
been so
vaults.
long since we've seen that.
I know.
I'm so glad we went digging through the vaults. Anyway.
Special thanks.
Special
Thank
Thank
Doghouse.
If only we'd had computers like Doghouse System computers back then.
So we talked
Think
about
of what
this.
we could have done.
So we have to say, we talked about this Doghouse System stuff, which you have a computer from them that you got a while back.
Yeah, love.
But Doghouse is sponsoring again. They build some rock solid high-end gaming rigs. If you need anything gaming, they've got it. They've got the Armor series, the customizable Prism series where you can set up all the stuff you want. The Mobius line is their gaming laptops, which are unbelievable.
if we'd only known back then what we would have
know
the plan now.
It would be amazing. And they sent us a system to use, and we opened it up, cracked it open. Amazing stuff. You
Screams.
must
It's a
buy.
screamer.
It's a screamer. But here's the crazy thing. So there's a couple things. If you want to get your own Doghouse system, go to doghousesystems.com. And here's the thing. You can use the coupon code. Settle. You can use the coupon code TRS when you check out, and you'll get a $25 Jinx code good. Settle down. Good for any Jinx gear, so you can get $25 free TRS stuff from Jinx. Amazing. And not only that, they're going to be giving away a giant workhorse. No, stop.
I'm gonna have to talk about drunk driving a little bit.
Wait.
Okay. I'm a mess right now. It's good.
Amazing. They're going to give away one awesome workhorse computer to one lucky winner. You just go to contest.doghousesystems.com for your chance to win. Love you, Doghouse System.
We had to tell them.
We really do.
We were laughing because.
No, we don't have to tell them.
We had to
Don't
explain,
break the
'cause
show.
It's only funny to us right now, and it'll be funny to them if they realize that whole
The
time.
bottom line was there was a lot of copy that I needed, and I basically started saying part of the end of it, and Mike
Mike had to scroll up
and
the-
all he can do is speed it up, so he was just standing in the back like this, like kind of looking like.
All right.
Anyway.
We're
Hilarious.
embarrassing 50s us. Because
We are.
50s
50s
us
us
is
were so
embarrassing.
honest.
They were so professional.
They were
We
so
nailed
good.
Ovaltine.
Yeah.
Man. And we're like morons.
You said a moment. You were,
If only 50s us had something like GoDaddy to register and host your websites. It's the place to go to register your domains, host your website. They have something called the Hosting Connection, which is your place to go and get 30 free apps that help you all kinds of different ways to maximize hosting and housing your website. There's also, they have an iPhone and Android app.
I use the iPhone app all the time.
I think they have an Android app. I just said
They
that.
do. Android and BlackBerry.
And BlackBerry. Very, very cool. You can get all kinds of good things by going to revision3.com/GoDaddy, and you can see all kinds of codes. But if you like our show, and you're watching, so I hope you do.
Yes.
You should support our show by using one of our promo codes. I recommend TRS8, which gives you 10% off your order.
Very nice.
We are also brought to you by the National Fight Against Drunk Driving, which is a very apt sponsor for this week's show because in talking about North by Northwest, one of the plot devices
Is drunk driving.
was they wanted to kill a man in the movie, so they made him drunk drive. That was their method of
really
killing a
interesting. I didn't even
person.
think about that.
Which will also be the method that you may end up killing a person. I'm not even kidding. That's how it happens quite often today. So they're cracking down because it's high drinking season around Memorial Day or Labor Day weekend, August 25th through September 6th.
Out in force. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, we both want
Anytime. Don't drink and
Anytime.
drink anytime.
No.
But specifically,
because
they will get you.
Because now, specifically beyond killing someone, you may murder someone and then also have to pay higher
the worst time
insurance
for you to be
rates.
doing it,
And,
Alex.
I'm not. He's not.
Disrespectful.
We're just laughing because it's late at night and we're punchy. But I'll tell you what, we're not going to do. Because it's late at night. We're not going to go drink and drive. In fact,
It's honestly-
I don't even really drink, so I'm designated Dan. Which if you are going to drink, just have a plan before you go out. Don't drink and then you'll wing it. You'll get a cab or whatever. Think to yourself, when I get drunk later, I will get a cab, and I know that now before I have gone out. Or get a buddy that can drive you home and make sure he's not drinking and all that stuff.
If you've ever been around anyone that has lost someone through an auto accident, it changes your whole perspective on the world and fun times and silliness and let's all hop in the car and go to the next location so we can all have more fun. It loses that fun time. It's because I'm serious, guys.
I know, but it's
I mean,
Anyway,
it's a serious
don't
thing
drink
that
and
people
drive.
really
And
need to know.
I have personal thing, and so
Yeah.
and probably most people have personal things if you don't have it yourself. So
Yeah.
It's not worth messing around with.
No.
Yeah. Back to your
I
regularly
was gonna
scheduled
say,
show.
You know what is worth messing around with is the 50s episode.
And remember, kids, that's why you shouldn't run with scissors. Well, I'm glad that we're done with that, and now let's get to our first message.
Well, don't we
of the
need
day.
to talk about our cross promotion with
Oh, I almost forgot.
Yeah.
We love that other television show,
Hot Rod Nation.
Hot Rod Nation.
Oh man, they will.
Well, you're a big fan, Jeff.
I am.
Go ahead.
They give you the best lowdown on all the newest hot rods. They test them. They show you what's good and bad. I highly recommend the show. It's on right after ours.
Yeah, so stick tuned for that, as it were. Are you a hot rodder, Dan?
I'm more of a nation guy. No, I don't know. Not a hot rod. No. I don't care about coffee.
Okay.
Stop talking.
All right,
This is his
okay.
response.
All right, shall we get to our first message? Here we are. So this comes in from Sharon Tate.
Little Sharon Tate.
Little Sharon Tate.
It's funny.
I don't know why that would be funny, but anyway, this comes in from Sharon Tate.
No, she's a cute little kid, that Sharon.
She is.
We know
she's a doll.
her. She's writing us emails, but we know her somehow.
Yeah,
I don't
she's
know.
a friend.
Boy, I hope nothing happens to her.
Oh, that's. We wish well to everybody. So, young Sharon Tate, she asks, "Hello, Totally Rad Show guys. Stop. I was very enthralled. Stop. To see Dan
We're placed by
learning
stop, but okay.
learning the twist. Stop. Oh,
Oh, she's talking about last week when
talking
you.
about last week's episode when we had.
This telegram must have just come in, huh?
It
Because
did
she was
just come
talking
right
about
off
last
the
week.
wire, right into my pocket.
Right off the wire.
My question is this, stop. What are your favorite comics, stop, books to read? Stop. You okay, John? You all right? You got a
That
little...
must have been a hail to bug.
Nail the bug. I would like to know yours, stop, truly, Sharon. Stop. Well, Sharon, that's a big,
A lot
big
of
question.
stops. You really pulled out the stops on this.
Well,
Yeah, well, it's...
you know, every stop is a little bit more money, so she must have
I
spent
was
quite
gonna say,
quite a big amount of money.
it's per line. So, Jeffrey, what would you?
Well,
what would
you
go
guys
ahead
know me. I still like to have a superhero comic in my back pocket every time I go to the ballpark.
I hear you.
You know, I'm a superhero guy. I know they're not going to be worth anything. I know they're you know, basically disposable.
Especially folding them up into your pocket. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Well, that's how you read a comic book, you know.
it's the only way, really.
I put a
read my
baseball
comics.
card in my bike spokes, and I put a comic book in my back pocket. That's what I do. And you know, so I like the guys we've been talking about for the last 10 years or so, 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, the Superman, the Batman, the Wonder Woman, the Green Lantern. I like those guys, and I
Yeah.
hope they stay around forever.
I don't know, man. I can't.
What about
afford-
you, Danny?
They're a dime. You know, I go for the nickel comics. I go for the Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
the Vault of Horror, basically the EC comics, right? Because they're like Alfred Hitchcock Presents and like the Twilight Zone. They're a new thing every week.
Anthology
They're not
books, yeah.
silly. They're a little bit more like the moving pictures, which you know.
I know you're a big fan of
They're
the movies.
grisly. You like the grisly stuff.
They're more grisly, and
grizzle.
there's more surprise.
Yes.
You know, the superhero stories, they're just the same thing every week. There's more surprise. Anyway, Jeff, I don't hold it against you. That's just how I feel.
All right, Alex, what
I don't even know who I am
are
right
you
now.
enjoying these days?
Well, I've been reading a new comic called Green Mist.
Green Mist.
Yes, it's relatively new. It's an independent printing. It's a very heartwarming.
What's it about?
Well, it's
Is it a
about
superhero comic?
It is sort of. It's sort of a superhero meets tragedy.
What's his superpower? Is he
Well, he
turning
doesn't
to
have
mist?
any. That's the tragic part. He is just constantly missed. A
People
green
miss
mist.
Oh, it's MISSED. People miss him. Is what
Well,
you're saying.
that's an interesting play on the words. But yes, that does happen often because he is literally green mist.
And never forms into a real person.
No, can't.
That's the
Is there
tragedy. Is there a dame in this story, or
Well, yes, his long lost love,
what's her name?
Missy.
Missy Mist.
Missy.
Missy Mist.
Well, his last name isn't Mist. I believe it's Jonathan Taylor.
Strong name.
Jonathan
Strong
Taylor
name.
Thomas. No, it's just Jonathan Taylor. Although that's a striking
That's
name.
a striking name.
Anyway, you should check it out if you can find it, which is hard to do.
Well, thank you for
Sharon.
sending the telegram.
Thank you, Sharon, for sending the telegram.
If you'd like to send a telegram,
Yes.
you should visit your local post office and or railroad.
And always remember, Sharon, and all you other kids out there, don't talk to strangers.
Yes.
Right?
And don't take candy from babies. Well, that's it. It seems like we've come to the end of another reel.
Yeah.
A reel of the Totally Rad Show.
That's right.
Well, until next time, my friend.
Well, they should buy some. They can get their.
Oh, that's right. We
sponsored
have
shirts.
We have carts that
We got
go around.
shirts. We have shirts. You can order through the mail.
They
Yeah.
can order through the mail now.
You can order the Jinx.
You get the X-ray
How do
specs.
they get them?
You get the X-ray specs.
Yep.
that
Yeah,
are-
basically, if you sell enough candy bars, you can win some TRS shirts.
Yes.
Just go to jinx.com/TRS.
What does that even mean?
the address.
It was gibberish.
the address for Jinx.
It's like Dot Street.
Jinx, buy me a Coke. Hey.
Hey,
Jinx.com/TRS.
Jinx. I don't know. You keep saying the word. Well, people.
Anyway,
Thank
Dan,
you.
why don't you tell the people
Oh.
what we're going to be talking about next week on
Oh
the
yeah,
show?
next week.
Next week, no big pictures, so we'll just be talking about some serials, some of the revival of some Flash Gordon and
Oh, the Flash Gordon TV show is still on.
Sergeant
I'm enjoying
Ryan,
that.
Mountain Man.
Oh, nice.
is playing up at the theater, and
I'm very excited for all of that stuff.
yeah.
And if it happens in a week, we will talk to you now on the Totally Rad Show.
Oh, technically.
All right, it's gonna be a big show today. Big show. All right, here we go. You ready?
All right, you ready there,
I gotta find my phrase. Find my phrase.
I'm scared.
my accent's gonna go. Oh, I can't. But
Did you realize they discovered Scotch 10 years ago? Oh, hey, oh,
hey,
oh.
I'm close enough. All right.
Yo, whoa, oh.
These pants are random.
Hey, it's the 50s. It's the go-go 50s where the wedgie was created.
Hey, Reggie went.
Okay, guys. Ready?
Dip, 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 games, games, games. Dip, dip, they are for fun and playing games, games, games.
Do-wop, do-wop.
They are for fun and playing
Games, games, games. Do-wop, do-wop.
Just listen to what I'm saying.
Games, games, games.
Do-wop, do-wop.
Do-wop, do-wop.
I was gonna get into it right at the end.
And I'm Dan Trachtenberg.